Welcome to Gandhara People Teacher Online Study Point, and today our topic is simulated teaching. This is a kind of uh, method developed for teacher training, which is quite useful and effective. And it was first used was by Cash. The name of the scientist was Cash in villages in field of teacher training. And in the year 1966, educationist Shank used it for making teaching practices effective. The real sense of a simulation means here is the role play. Let's go to meaning and definition. So, it is a kind of practice creating a teaching environment artificially in the classroom, and the roles of the teacher, observer, and pupil teacher will be played by the pupil teacher itself in order to prepare teachers for the classroom. So, there are many definitions you can write in your notes. I am just giving you a one definition which is quite simple as well as effective. So, according to Wing, artificial circumstances are created at such a time when pupil teachers has to be performed has to be made performed desired responses by confronting specific simulated material. So it means that if we want to perform certain skills in the class, then the pupil teacher have been given that simulation, that role play, that they will perform the same skill in the class. And that's why they said that the pupil teacher is made to perform the desired responses by making simulated material, by giving them, or by creating the simulated environment. I hope you all understand the meaning of simulated teaching. See, it's very very easy. There is no confusion. ये ऊपर जो मैंने ब्लैक नोशन से लिख टाइप्ड है ये बिल्कुल एग्जैक्ट डेफिनेशन आपको बता रहा है सिमुलेटेड टीचिंग की, और ये एकदम प्रोफेशनल डेफिनेशन है जो कि दी गई है। लेकिन सिंपल सिंपल सी बात केवल इतनी है कि आपको एक रोल प्ले करना है क्लास में, और पीपल टीचर्स को रोल्स दिए जाते हैं जिसमें खुद ही आप टीचर भी बनते हैं, खुद ही आप बच्चे भी बनते हैं, और खुद ही आप ऑब्जर्वर भी बनते हैं। और इन रोल्स के थ्रू आपको डिफरेंट डिफरेंट स्किल्स सीखने का मौका मिलता है इन एन आर्टिफिशियल एनवायरनमेंट. This is the simulated teaching. Now, elements of simulated teachings, there are एज आई टोल्ड यू अर्लियर दैट क्रुक शैंक, इन्होंने ही इसके बारे में सबसे ज़्यादा इफेक्टिव स्टडी करके बताया था। तो इन्होंने तीन एलिमेंट्स, डायग्नोस्टिक एलिमेंट बताए, प्रिस्क्रिप्टिव एलिमेंट्स बताए और इवेल्युएटिव एलिमेंट बताए। जैसे कोई डॉक्टर होता है, जब आप उसके पास जाते हो तो वो सबसे पहले सिम्टम्स डायग्नोज करता है कि व्हाट प्रॉब्लम इज देयर। तो ऐसे ही इन द सेम वे द टीचर विल diagnose the shortcomings, weaknesses, and strong points of students. Then, in prescriptive element, a teacher will prescribe remedies, and in evaluative element, then teacher will evaluate that whatever prescription he or she has provided in the class are effective. If it is not, if a teacher is not satisfied with this, he will repeat the process of diagnosis, prescription, and evaluation. So these are the three elements of simulated teaching. What are the steps of simulated teaching? How we start and how we do simulated teaching in the class? So first of all, we do orientation, that we tell pupil teachers that they are give or we can say we at first pupil teachers are giving theoretical knowledge about simulated teaching. They are told about the meaning and concept of simulated teaching. Also they are told about its importance, its application, and they are taught the roles of teachers and supervisors and students and suitable day for training. So in this you can say there are two main things. First, after telling about simulated teaching, they will select the role that which kind of roles are to be played and how they will play. And second, the selection of pupil teachers, that who will become teacher, who will become student, who will become observer. Next, and in the second step, there is a skill selection for practice. So we will select a certain skill for practice, questioning skill or lecturer method, or whatever skill you want to uh, learn in that particular environment. Third is determination of the sequence. When we make a lesson plan for certain skill, then having made lesson plan on the basis of the chosen skill which have to be cultivated in the simulated teaching, there a practice session will be chalked out where you will tell the your mentor that what skills to be taught first, what skills to be taught when, and thus ordered. So ordered of skill in the classroom, order of the lesson plan is discussed here. Then in fourth, determination of evaluation technique, observation technique or questionnaire technique, or observer will use which kind of a technique for observing or in the classroom. So both evaluation as well as observation, both techniques are discussed first. So after determination of the sequence, then first practice session will be held after the entire system has been made. First session is organized and supervisor will provide feedback and suggestions which will be given for improvement. And then, and at the last again, the pupil teacher will continue practicing one by one. So I hope these are the six main steps of simulated teaching. At first, they will orientation program is there, theoretical knowledge about simulated teaching and is given, and then role play selection is there. Then there will be a skill selection for practice, that it is determined what teaching skills will be objective of the training session. In the third step, there will be sequence determination in order to make a lesson plan. And in fourth, there will be determination of observation or evaluation techniques, which techniques will be used by the observer to evaluate. And in the fifth step, there will be a practice session when entire arrangement is made and feedback will be given by the supervisors to improve their simulated teaching in the class. And finally, there will be practicing by people teachers unless they command a certain skill. So these are the steps. Now, there are characteristics of simulated teaching. For example, students work naturally under artificial circumstances. So there are artificial circumstances, but student role play is always natural. Then there are several practice sessions given to for gaining mastery over a skill. It is simple, easy, and useful. It will cultivate confidence because they are doing role play, they are doing a simulation kind of thing. So they will definitely gain experience as well as they will cultivate confidence of being a teacher or student, anything. And there is a immediate feedback here. And there is because I told you in the steps that there is determination of everything. So the people teacher will learn the ability to present the content systematically in class, that what skills have to be taught first, what skill have to be used when, and the order there. So they will gain the ability to present the content very systematically in this kind of teaching. And last and important one is the student teachers or people teachers will learn behavioral norms in the class, how they should behave in the class. When they will become student on their own, they will definitely going to you can say got an opportunity. So for behavioral norms in the class, or they will learn how to behave in the class. There are many more characteristic you can write in your notes. But first of all, I always tell in my lecture, always read a content before seeing my lecture or any lecture, and always prepare your own notes after studying it. So when you will study the simulated teaching in the class, in some book or from Google or from anywhere, you will get a more deeper knowledge of the topic. Then you can come to my lecture and you will understand this all the content very clearly, and that is very important for every pupil teacher. Now next, there are limitations of everything, and obviously there is the limitations of simulated teaching also. Then first of all is the role of supervisor here is always tough because pupil teacher lacks experience. They are very young to become a supervisor. Next, obviously it is the artificial environment, so actual classroom here environment lacks here. Next, sometimes the students are not able to understand the chief elements of the simulated teaching, that they have to first diagnose, then prescribe, and then evaluate. They do everything according as a teacher comes in the class and do, but they unable to understand the chief elements of simulated teaching. And fourth, an important one also, it is an artificial teaching learning process. So actual feedback is not possible to reform practices. Okay, so these are the limitations of simulated teaching. I hope it is all clear to you. If there is any problem related to the topic, you can ask me in the comment section. And thank you for watching Gyandhara. Please like, share, and subscribe.